Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the leader of opposition of this house. The topic of our debate is it really needed to ban the consumption and production of meat. First, we're going to review the government side. They try to say eating meat is immoral because obtaining meat is must be go through ending their life without their choice. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're talking about the moral value from eating meat of an animal, don't they, as an animal, they also have to stop eating each another, and because another animal as an act to respect moral and living value of each other. And they said also it was immoral of the animal to eat each other because they need the conscience of the animal to eat them. From that we know that it was nonsense to think it was immoral to eat animal because we ended their life without conscience and they will be in pain because the animal itself don't they ask each other to eat another animal. Ladies and gentlemen, animal has their instinct to eat another animal because it was their nature as their food source. We, as a human, also have an instinct as part of the food chain to eat another creature from the food chain. Example, the rice eaten by the rat, and the rat eaten by the snake, and the snake eaten by the eagle. And human also take a big part of it, like human eating chicken, but who eat us? As a human, it was the composer, where they took a big part of the balance of the nature. Eating meat is the nature of human to keep the balance of the food chain. What would happen? The food chain, because it was at stake as an exchange of the human banned the meat consumption. The food chain is not going to be stable because as a big part of consumption of meat, the population of the animal as part of the food chain will be a big mess then the harmonies of the nature will be at stake. Why the big population? Why the big population of the animal is not okay for the environment? Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you why eating plant is not a solution of the act of banning consumption and production of meat. Why not a solution? Animal is stay at their population, not all the max of its population like twice or thrice than human is because we eat them. We eat the animal and the plant, but the source of animal's food is plant. And then another animal like carnivore animal eat each other like carnivore animal eat herbivore animal as their source of food or even another carnivore animal. So from that we know that the most important source is our source of food, of the source food that was important from animal and human is plant. We have the same source of food. If we eat only plant, then the animal and human will also eat the same source of food, which is plant. Then if the plant is the only food that will be as a food source of the human and animal, the population of the plant will go at stake or even extinct because we both need the same source of food. If the main source of food is not at stake because we're fighting the same source of food, then the population of plant and animal or even human will be at stake, and all of us will craving the same food source, and as human we will end up eating meat again. From that we know that animal and human should not eating another source of food because the plant will go extinct, and then the animal will craving another source of food, and the same goes to the human. And what would happen if the plants go extinct because we seek for the same source of food? The animal will go extinct. While if we don't have the plant to source of food, and the animal don't have the source of food also, then the animal will go extinct. The animal go extinct. What would we eat as a human? we eat nothing, we as a human will go extinct also. Ladies and gentlemen, why is it okay to end the animal life? Because from what I've said that human is part of the food chain. An animal also took a big part of it. Because from our argument that animal and human is important being in the food chain. And then if we try to let one and another go big mass of the population, it will affect or impact one and another, and it will go extinct like what I've said before. Because if we take the plant as a food source only, not just not the animal, the plant will go extinct because the human and animal ate the same thing. From what I've said, that human is part of the food chain, animal also take a big part of it. If we choose to let not ending or eating the animal, the other population will also at stake. Where the plant of what the government said as the source of food will be at scarce, or there will be a scarcity of the plant itself. That's why in this house we oppose the motion. Ladies and gentlemen, in our house, we choose to be okay for the carbon and emission of the production and consumption of meat, because we need to keep the food source exist so that the balance of the nature will be safe, and there will be not an extinction from animal, plant, and human. That's all from us. Thank you.